Hello, let's start with brief introduction of RSS today. RSS stands for Rashtriya Swayemsevak Sangh. It is an organization that is meant to promote cultural values. As you can see here in the slide, it was created in 1925. You need to understand one thing that RSS did not come in vacuum. There is some background. So we already had something called Muslim League in 1906. We had Hindu Mahasabha in 1915, and then we had something called RSS in 1925. Why was RSS created? So according to Christophe Jaffrelot, it was created to defend the Hindus and to ensure their domination over the Indian nation. It was founded by Savarkar's, one of the Savarkar's followers called KB Hedgewar. What does RSS aspire? It aspires to be the source behind shaping India as a Hindu nation. It spreads its ideology through its local units called shakhas. In these units, adolescents, children, adults gather for calisthenics and other physical exercises. The trend in an ideology that glorifies ancient Hindu kingdoms and Vedic era traditions. All the points are from this book. Let's now talk about what kind of conscience RSS tries to inculcate among Hindus or among its supporters. So, the branches are the framework for social and psychological reform on which the Hindu nation is supposed to be built in the form of brotherhood in saffron. Saffron is a color symbolic to Hindu faith or those who follow uh, RSS and its ideology. What does RSS want? It intends to drill into its members not only physical strength. Of course, physical strength is very, very important. But more than that, a nationalist conscience is something very, very important. And a sense of solidarity to overcome caste and sectarian divisions. The latter are viewed as a weakness compared to Muslims, whom they believe, people who believe in RSS or who created RSS, they believe to be strongly united. RSS was established actually to counter feelings of vulnerability and low self esteem in order to better confront the perceived Muslim threat. RSS was intended to help Hindus adopt traits or characteristics which are seen as sources of Muslim strength, particularly their strong sense of community. And RSS and others got this sense actually for the first time when Khilafat movement was launched by Ali brothers, and this Khilafat movement came to get associated with non-cooperation, broader non-cooperation movement. So a lot of people got uh, actually surprised to know that Muslims living in India and caring about something which was happening in Ottoman Empire or in Turkey, whatever you call it. Yeah. So this is something we need to understand. In 1920s, KB Hedgewar's mentor B.S. Munje, he went to the extent of urging the Hindus to imitate the way in which Muslims resorted to organized violence. He claimed to appreciate the Muslims for strong vigilance with which they protect their racial or communal interests, which is kind of lacking in the present day Hindu race. This is what Munje had to say. Munje even went as far as eating meat, so he did not shy away from eating meat, thus transgressing the vegetarian diet his Brahmin caste adhered to. Why did he eat meat? To rival with the Muslims. Hindu nationalists exhibit or display a majoritarian inferiority complex toward Muslims. This complex is rooted in divisions within Hindu society. Another factor is Hindu isolation. uh, Compared to Muslim communities, perceived pan-Islamic solidarity and the tendency that Muslims are going to get support from their Arab and Gulf counterparts, it reinforces Hindu nationalists' anxieties. Okay, RSS actually was established to counteract Hindu vulnerability and low self-esteem in response to the perceived Muslim threat. It sought to equip Hindus with qualities attributed to Muslim strength, particularly a strong communal identity. This approach is known as strategic syncretism or strategic emulation, adopting perceived advantages from the other. The broader goal was socio psychological reform, including eliminating caste divisions. Another key aim was to enhance Hindus' physical strength, which we have already talked about. That uh, RSS wants to drill into its members not only physical strength but a nationalist conscience, revolving around uh, Hindu uh, past traditions, Vedic era traditions, all of that stuff. This is very interesting. By 1947, because this is what RSS is known for, their deep penetration into Indian society. By 1947, imagine within 20, 25 years, RSS had already established 600,000 branches. These branches were typically overseen by trained RSS members, whom we call Parcharaks, who had completed a specialized program. In 1927, KB Hedgewar initiated the first officers' training camps to prepare Parcharaks, and they are full time preachers and organizers dedicated to the goals of RSS. This dedicated group served as the driving force behind the RSS's expansion, working to establish shakhas nationwide. These parcharaks, these preachers, both then at that time in 1920s and now, were young individuals with strong organizational skills who chose to forego personal careers and family life in favor of a nomadic existence. Many of these people were university students or graduates who volunteered their time, supported financially by local patrons. Their commitment to self discipline and renunciation of worldly pleasures earned them significant respect among the young Hindus they sought to recruit. Trained Pacharaks were deployed across the country to extend the Shaka network or organized or assigned to different branches of the RSS as it expanded after 1947. One more thing we need to understand is how RSS, through its uh, affiliates like ABVP, which was created in 1948, Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, how they tackled the rise of the Communist Party. So, Christopher Jaffrelot has to say this. During 40s and 50s, RSS actively sought to counter the growing influence of communists, who had become a significant political force in India in 1950s. So by the time of the 1951 and 52 general elections, the first general elections which were held in India, the Communist Party had emerged as the primary opposition in parliament. So the key party was the Congress, which has complete dominance, almost complete dominance. But then you had a very important opposition party called the Communist Party. In response, RSS focused on expanding its organizational reach by forming various various specialized affiliates. One of its earliest initiatives, as I talked about, was the establishment of a student union called ABVP in 1948. This organization aimed to mobilize young people and challenge the dominance of leftist ideologies in academic institutions. Following this, in 1955, RSS launched something called Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, a trade union designed to offer an alternative to communist led labor movements and promote workers' rights through a nationalist framework. So the 1950s also saw the RSS extending its activities to tribal communities. Concerned about the increasing influence of Christian missionaries among India's indigenous population, RSS founded Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram in 1952. Just like it created it, it founded ABVP in 1948 and certain other organizations. Similarly, it founded Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram in 1952. Its primary goal was to reinforce Hindu traditions among tribal groups and prevent religious conversions, which Hindu nationalists viewed as a process of denationalization. So, conversions even today are very sensitive issue, and they are taken very seriously by the RSS and its affiliates. So, in the next lesson, we will talk about RSS entry into politics. Thank you very much.